What is your opinion on ghosts?
As a metaphysical phenomena?
As if they're real or not.
I'm afraid I don't think they're real. I do think I think so. I'm a metaphysical anti-realist in the sense that I don't think it's possible for us to make comments on non-empirical things because all of the means by which we would analyze those things have to be empirical. You know, like I don't think you can disprove the existence of ghosts, for example. Same with God or a bunch of other stuff. It's pretty fun to imagine. In terms of like ghosts as like a component of media, I think that they're done so boring and they could be so much more interesting. Like all ghosts in media, like horror movies or whatever, are the same bullshit over and over and over again. It's like, okay, so like a ghost is mad here because like 5 centuries ago, someone did some the bad thing happen. It's like, holy shit, fucking snoozeville, you know?
Mm.
Ghosts never have a personality either. They're always just stupid and vengeful. Where are the horror movies where ghosts have a personality beyond just being like angry and easily lured by like ghost hunting traps, you know? Like why isn't there like a ghost horror movie of like some kind of sadistic like Satan wheeling and dealing ghost where they'll try to like trick you out of things? Like really though, like
Mm.
imagine a haunting movie where like you know like the stereotypical beginning where they move into a house and like the kid discovers the ghost first, you know, like the mom will come upstairs and she'll be like, who are you talking to, Timmy? And Timmy will be like, I'm talking to my new friend. And then, you know, she'll be like, and the mom will roll her eyes, be like, oh yeah, who? And then Timmy is like, oh, Mr. Jameson, who died here in 1927. And she'll like frantically look through the newspaper and there was someone who died there in 19 blah 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 blah, right? But like imagine if instead of that bullshit, and then you know how it plays out after that, right? Imagine if the ghost talked to the parents as well, you know, like, hey, your house is a little run down, I can fix it up for you. Hey, you're having problems with their marriage, I can fix it up for you, you know. It'll cost a bit, just a little, and bit by bit, like you sell little bits of yourself to them until eventually when you're in too deep you realize the problem and you try to break the deal, you know. And at that point then you have a goddamn thriller because that ghost owns your ass.
It's
I
either
think
a
that you
thriller or an Adam Sandler movie.
well, keep him out of it. Listen, I'm just saying, I think that you could there's just so it's I'm just saying, like, you know, the vast majority of horror movies that involve ghosts are like the same shit. There are people in my chat who are idiots and honestly, frankly, don't even deserve to be in my community, who are pointing out that if you can believe it, the thing that I'm describing has been done before. Incredibly, they don't seem to understand that yes, everything has been done before. I'm only pointing out that it's an underrepresented trope that I'd like to see done more. You know, I just there's so much interesting stuff that you can do, but it's always the same. It's always, you know, when they do possessions, they'll like stand at the end of a hallway going like you know, and they'll turn around, they'll be spooky. It's the same. It's snoozeville. I hate horror films. They're so boring, they're so
Yeah,
predictable.
I'm not a fan either.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, sorry. I could ramble on that
no,
for
for ghosts though. What
really a
about
long
what about
time.
Sixth Sense? What'd you think of that? I mean, I thought that was a neat take on it.
Yeah,
I'm
I liked Sixth Sense a lot, right? I mean, it wasn't really a horror film. It was you
no
know, more of a how would you even describe like just a drama?
suspense drama horror.
Yeah, suspense drama. Yeah. I mean, obviously it was a really, really good um, you know, movie. I just think that as a narrative device, they're underutilized because you can do anything with ghosts, anything at all. Um I guess I've noticed this broader pattern where it seems like people like to get a lot of nostalgia kicks out of bringing back horror tropes. So, you know, we have vampires, you know, we had like Amy Rice and Twilight and all that crap, you know, and werewolves kind of parallel to that, you know, and maybe we'll get mummies sometime or another, who knows. But it feels like so rarely are people willing to experiment. Did I say Anne Rice? Amy, is it Amy Rice? Amy Rice, yeah. Um, with the you know, the Vampire Diaries
I
and
thought it
crap,
was Anne
whatever.
Rice too. But
Yeah, I think I'm mixing up a few people, and they fuck, what was I saying? Oh, they need to experiment more, you know. The best piece of vampire media that came out in the past like 2 decades, in my opinion, was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which was a video game adaptation of a tabletop game and a broader universe that the tabletop game is set in. And it was pretty subversive, I think, of a lot of vampire tropes. So yeah, I think they just need to experiment more, in my opinion.
hmm.
So while we're on the topic of Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis, what do you think about that news.
I
It's come out.
wasn't surprised. It's funny. I was actually talking with my chat about how I remember the days when he used to know how to act. And then they told me like an hour ago, he announced that he had like a debilitating condition and he was retiring from acting. It wasn't timed. Like they just, that just happened to be the same day that I randomly brought him up with stream. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, you know? Honest to God, I kind of wish he'd done it a long time ago, because I feel like he used to be a really talented actor and he's soured his reputation a bit with a lot of really bad performances. I know he was trying to like get some dosh before quitting, and I understand that. I don't think he did anything like morally wrong or whatever, but it's a little bit frustrating that now it seems like a bunch of people are just going to have a memory of Bruce Willis as just being like the guy who will act in any movie, act in like big finger quotes, you know? And not like all of his amazing work that he did, like, I don't know, 2005 beforehand. Yeah, I don't know.
Some of what I read, it almost made me think that he might have been dealing with dementia for some time.
Maybe. I mean, it hits you, right? You know, it's really unfortunate. You know, all the money in the world can't protect you from stuff like that, you know, at least not perfectly. I mean, he has better healthcare than you know we would, but yeah, it does suck. I feel bad for him. I know he doesn't want people to feel bad for him, but I do anyway. You know, I really did like Sixth Sense. You know, I really did like Unbreakable. Obviously those are the movies everyone remembers with him, but you know, it's just hard not to think of that.